Okay, technically I did do a video of this. This is a redo because I tried making that 20 minutes long and ended up being 47 minutes long, and I had 47 minutes left to record, and just, it would have cost storage for trying to edit. Yeah, so this is a redo, and this time I've taken notes on my thoughts for re-reviewing the first two Venom movies in preparation for Venom 3. And I would be wearing a Venom costume, but unfortunately, it's still stuck in my dad's RV, and even more unfortunately, that costume's about 4 years old, as I've worn that for Halloween around 2020, and wore that for Venom There Be Carnage, and just, yeah, it would not fit me anymore, I'm afraid. But hey, at least I got this Venom shirt from Spider-Man 2. With that being said, hello everyone, we're back to another double movie review on the channel, and this time, I think this is the first I'm doing a double movie review that is rather a re-review. So a double re-review for Venom 1 and 2, as I'm re-reviewing Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage in preparation for Venom The Last Dance that'll be hitting theaters this week. Now, I do have a costume I am making. Right now, I'm painting the white veins to dry up. I'll do the back in a sec, but just, yeah, I stayed up late working on that thing, and I was stressed I would not be able to get that done on time, but I'm nearly complete on finishing it. I just need a black bodysuit, because, you know, just, you'll see the full finished look around when I see Venom Venom Let There Be Carnage was released 3 years ago. When I see Venom The Last Dance. This Thursday, I mean, which happens to be my brother's 17th birthday. Oh, wow, it's 3 o'clock. Alright, let's get the show on the road. So, yeah, for this video, I wanted to display anything Venom-related, and, I have the Venom popcorn bucket, which... Oh, what a time to... What a weird time we're living in, where we're now getting customized popcorn buckets. Where some buckets may look a little too sus. Like this, or the Doom popcorn bucket, or the Wolf Bussy, which, where do I have that at? Ah, look at my popcorn buckets. All I need to finish off this trio is the Doom popcorn bucket. I hope to get that by the end of this year for Christmas. Anyways, I'm gonna set you aside. Anyways, let's get on with the re-review, shall we? So yeah, I have already made reviews for the first two Venom movies. The first one, I was mainly talking about my experience with, how I was leading up to finally seeing Venom in theaters rather than the movie itself. And then for Venom 2, I probably talked a little bit of my thoughts with that one. And technically you should already know my experience with Venom 2 because I made a of videos hyping up Venom 2 around 2020 to 2021. Well, with that out of the way, let's get on with the double movie review, shall we? Which is technically a double movie re-review. Okay, let's actually get on with the video. So yeah, about 6 years ago, I was very hyped up to see Venom in theaters, as it was probably one of my most anticipated movies that was coming out, because I happen to be a very big fan of Venom, probably because of Venom from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. But overall, I was a massive fan of Venom. And yeah, it then became one of my favorite movies from 2018, which I could have squeezed in to my top 10 favorite movies of 2018. A video I had already made earlier this year, which oh god, I need to make my top 10 favorite movies of 2014, as 2014 was about 10 years ago. But 6 years have passed, and back then I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Now, being a little older, I could see the movie's flaws with Venom 2018. So I can understand why Spider-Man fans would be disappointed with the first Venom movie. There is wasted potential for both Venom films, especially since they're not rated R, and with Kraven the Hunter being rated R, I feel like it's kind of a bit unfair for not only the Venom movies, but also Morbius as well. Well, I'll definitely agree with fans that the Venom movies should have been better, despite now seeing the flaws in both movies, mainly the first one. I do still enjoy them. Yes, they could have been better, but they are really fun guilty pleasure movies, if you're able to turn off your brain and let Venom eat them, since he has an appetite for eating brains. Now, I still enjoy watching Venom 6 years later. Yes, it's not great, but it's far from worse. It does give off heavy 2000 superhero vibes, but I kind of like it that way for some reason. But I'm a little annoyed with how the trailers marketed this movie, because the trailers were giving off heavy vibes that this would be a dark and serious movie. But when you watch the actual movie, yeah, it's got serious moments, but it's surprisingly funny. And I could mean that in both a good way and a bad way. Spider-Man fans will find it in a bad way, but for me, I did not mind. Sure, I would have preferred it to be a rather serious movie, but I guess the funny moments do work for me a bit. But I'm shocked that I'm even thinking this way, because having to rewatch it recently, about like 3 weeks ago, on the day they were released, because I watched Let There Be Carnage on the 1st of October, the day it was released, and not gonna lie, I kind of wasted my money renting the movie, because I had totally forgot Oh, wait a second. I don't even have it out. Be right back. So yeah, I do have the first Venom movie that is along with Homecoming and Far From Home, along with Into the Spider-Verse. But I totally forgot that I freaking own this movie, so I kind of wasted like $4 renting it on YouTube when I could have just played this on my freaking PlayStation. Like, oh god! As soon as I had realized it was already too late, as I had rented it, and then, oh shit! I already have this movie! I find it funny that that happened, but still, I was like, oh my god, I just wasted $4 renting it on YouTube! Actually, since I'm talking about Venom, I'm gonna want to display it if I can, which I'm gonna put that. Hopefully, don't fall down. There we go. Perfect. Now I can have a display. When I talk about There Be Carnage, I'll switch that out with with this. So yeah, I watched the first Venom movie on the day it was released 6 years ago, and I was shocked to realize, oh my god, no, why am I thinking this way? And what is it that I was thinking about while rewatching it? So I've noticed there are like breadcrumbs of Venom being a rom-com movie. When you're watching Venom and you just pay close attention to the details, unless you're thinking too hard. I could be thinking too hard on this, but as I was rewatching, I'm noticing the breadcrumbs, and I could see it working well as a rom-com between Eddie and Venom. Who knows? Maybe you might agree with me. I can't be the only one thinking this way or something, but I probably might be the only one. But okay, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. What blows my mind that I'm thinking this way is that having to rewatch the first Venom movie, I'm kind of shipping both Venom and Eddie. That might be weird. Then again, I've seen fan art. Well, not many, but just like, I mean, you could see it. You could see it in this movie because Eddie gets dumped by his girlfriend, Annie, and he basically finds a new love interest with Venom. I've seen that trope from somewhere in a rom-com movie. I have to believe I've seen that somewhere else, but just like, no, like back then I was like happy. I was like, hey, he shared a kiss with Anne. For having to rewatch it, I know Anne had mentioned that it felt good about the power mainly. Sure, she could have implied about the kiss, but I mean, she said it herself. It was your buddy's idea just to share a kiss. I have to believe Venom actually wanted to share a kiss. Oh my, I cannot believe I'm thinking like, what the hell? Oh my god! Oh, this is crazy. I cannot believe I'm shipping a freaking human being with a goddamn alien being. Not to say I'm against it, but just like, oh my god. I can't believe I'm thinking about this. But still, the breadcrumbs are there of this being a rom-com movie. Now, for the second one, they go full throttle and it's just a straight-up rom-com, which I'll bring that up later in a sec. But still, even though I am now suddenly shipping Eddie Brock and Venom, what does carry these Venom movies is the relationship and dynamic between Eddie and Venom. It's so fun to watch on screen. I gotta say, Tom Hardy does a pretty good job portraying both characters to the point I would honestly be down to watch a TV show with just the two of them having crazy adventures. Whether it's saving crime or just being a married couple. Because, like, in the second movie, they're like a married couple when you think about it. Now, I could say something negative about the villain, which would be Colton Drake. And, yeah, he's basically a generic businessman that wants to do evil stuff, but what kind of saves him for me is he gets his own symbiote named Riot. So, like, okay, you're not a great villain, but since you had your own symbiote, you get a pass from me. And I did thought Riot was kind of cool, which, around when he was revealed in the third trailer, at the time I was like, yes, I knew we'd be getting another symbiote. Wait a sec. Is this supposed to be Carnage? Because last I checked, he's supposed to be red. But overall, Venom is a surprisingly funny movie to watch, thanks to Tom Hardy's portrayal of Eddie and Venom. Their dynamic is fun to watch on screen, and this movie is entertaining, most of all a guilty pleasure for me, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for it. Now, I'm a little back and forth on which movie I consider to be better, whether it's Venom 1 better than Venom 2, or Venom 2 better than Venom 1, but I feel like that probably won't matter because that debate is soon going to be over by the time I watch Venom 3, as I've been hearing it's the best in the trilogy. Anyways, now with that out of the way, time to... I'm actually going to want to have Carnage on top. Sorry, Venom. But anyways, on to my re-review for Let There Be Carnage. So, around when I was watching Venom with my dad, I remember him bringing up about a negative he had for the movie, which was the visuals. Where the CGI is not all that great in the first movie, and having to rewatch it with him, I was like, oh, I can see what Dad is talking about. Because the final battle, it's a bit of a CGI slop. You can barely see anything. It's just basically like a mess, a little bit. But he was very pleased with the visuals for Venom 2, as they were a lot more better than the first movie, which I'll agree with him on that. The visuals for Venom Let There Be Carnage are a lot more better than how they looked for the first Venom movie. But I do like that Andy Serkis was behind the director's chair for Venom 2. Because around the time period before this movie was released, I remember watching a video during class of him breaking down a scene in the movie. And I'm glad he gave Venom more lines in the second movie, since he had little bits of dialogue in the first movie. But yeah, 3 years later, I still applaud Andy Serkis for directing Venom There Be Carnage, as I think he understood the assignment very well. But it's crazy to me how he went from directing Venom 2 to portraying Null in Venom 3. Which, technically, actually, I think it's slightly confirmed he is voicing Null in Venom The Last Dance. Like, check out this clip.
We may not make it out of this alive, buddy.
I will annihilate your world.
I know for a fact that is freaking Andy Serkis speaking. Like, come on. Have you seen him play Caesar in Planet of the Apes movies? Like, just, oh, guys, I gotta say, if he is playing Null, that is an awesome casting. But another nitpick I do have with Venom 2 than just my big annoyance that it was not rated R, since Carnage is one of Marvel's most violent and brutal villains. The runtime. I'm not a fan of the runtime. It's surprisingly the shortest Marvel movie, but it's also the shortest in the entire trilogy. We do get plenty of screen time for Venom and Carnage, but I wish they had at least 2 fight scenes than just one at the very end of the movie. But I would prefer the final battle from Let There Be Carnage than the final battle from Venom. Now, I was probably praising Woody Harrelson as Carnage 3 years ago. 3 years later, my opinion slightly changed, but not to say it's a miscast. I'd say he did an alright job as Carnage. He does have an awesome breakout prison scene, and yeah, I could see the comparisons of Carnage and Street giving off heavy vibes of Joker and Harley Quinn. But I'm upset that he was killed off at the end of this movie, because to me, he's not just a one-and-done villain. I would want to see him go up against Venom and Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure that they both had teamed up at one point to take down Carnage, because Carnage is Venom's arch nemesis. But I bet Insomniac will do justice to Carnage for the Venom PS5 game. Yes, we should be getting a Venom game, because why do you think they let us play Venom in Spider-Man 2? They wanted to test out to see, like, let's see if folks will want a Venom game. We want a Venom game right now! Now, it's not totally confirmed. We don't know, but if, like, I have to believe we are getting a Venom game possibly next year. And then 2026, the Wolverine game, which 2 games I am highly anticipating. Mainly the Wolverine game, because right now it's unclear if we're getting the Venom game, which I'll talk about my thoughts on the Venom game in another separate video, which would have been my thoughts on Insomniac getting their games leaked, unfortunately. That happened around, like, December of last year. Also, I feel bad that I wanted Dan killed off in the second movie just so that Eddie and Ann can get back together, because he has a cool heroic moment in the final battle where he lights fire on Carnage but without the sound. Since fire and sound is their weaknesses, it's what kills the symbiotes. But I'm glad he was not killed off by Carnage. And having to think about it, rewatching these movies a few years later, yes, screw Ann. Eddie is better off with Venom. Which, again, there were breadcrumbs in the first movie of it being a rom-com, and Venom 2 goes full rom-com, as they do have a breakup scene earlier in the movie, and then later in the movie they gotta get back together in order to defeat Carnage. But overall, another entertaining sequel for the Venom series. Let There Be Carnage should have been rated R for maximum carnage, but Venom 2 is probably one of the best rom-coms I've seen, not gonna lie. And it's all thanks to Tom Hardy portraying both Eddie and Venom. So overall, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Also the post-credit scene, which, oh my god, I was so hyped that we were finally going to see Tom Holland go up against Tom Hardy's Venom, only to be disappointed 2 months later with the No Way Home post-credit scene. I find it funny that they got Venom into the MCU only to be taken out. It's like I'm still pissed about that! And the only reason Sony had these movies PG-13 is just so they could hopefully have the movies part of the MCU, but Kevin Feige had said, nope, keep your Sony Cinematic Universe away from our MCU. Besides, we already have our own mess. It's been going downhill since Endgame, but luckily Deadpool Wolverine is kind of saving it for us. But what's the point of showing Tom Holland Spider-Man in the post-credit scene of Venom 2? Mainly just to have y'all go see Spider-Man No Way Home, just only to be disappointed that Venom was taken out of the MCU, and just, yeah, he could have made a good 6th member of the Sinister Six, but I will agree, it would have not made sense if he were to fight off Spider-Man, because he has not encountered a Spider-Man from his universe. But it looks like Venom did somewhat recognize him when he said, that guy. So I could say that was a wasted post-credit scene, but I feel like it's not entirely a waste, because if the rumors are true for Spider-Man 4, which I have a bad feeling they're not true from what I'm reading on Twitter. I don't know. We shall see in like 2 years once we get Spider-Man 4. If the rumors are true, we could still see a fight with Tom Hardy's Venom go up against not only Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but also Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man. And then they all team up, get their own black symbiote suit to take on Null, since he is a very powerful villain. But with that being said, while rewatching the first 2 Venom movies, I did notice they had left breadcrumbs that would have been major setups for The Last Dance. Like in Venom 1, where the hell did they find the symbiotes in space? Because I doubt they visited Null's planet. It is likely possible they were running away from Null, because if you watch the second trailer, one of the scientists was mentioning something that they were running away from something.
Symbiotes didn't come here by accident. They were running.
From what?
But then a lot of nice things turn bad.
So, it's highly possible Riot was trying to save his symbiote friends from Null. I don't know. I mean, technically he wanted to bring them over just so they could kill everybody on planet Earth. But when you think about it, he was probably trying to save his friends from Null, who is the god of symbiotes. But the way the second movie had ended, it had perfectly set up the third movie, as Eddie and Venom have exposed themselves to where they're on the run from the military, and they might actually get hauled off into Area 51, which was something I did brought up in my Spider-Man 4 and Venom 3 leaked rumors, along with my expectations for the next Spider-Man trilogy. And last but not least, Venom burning up about the symbiote hive mind, which could be a multiversal hive mind. I mean, for all we know, we could see Topher Grace's Venom in there, because it's a hive mind, where I think that's where Null will come into play. And then be aware of not only the multiverse, but also wanting to, I guess, capture Eddie and Venom for something that he needs to get out of whatever prison he's on, because apparently Eddie and Venom might be the key to Null escaping. That's just something I saw in the recent TV spots. But yeah, even though we've seen Spider-Man in a Venom movie, which will be Let There Be Carnage, having rewatched the movies, I could see the breadcrumbs. I'm like, oh my god, it's all been leading up to this. They've had little breadcrumbs of this just to be a major, huge setup, just to all be concluded in the 3rd chapter of the Venom series. And with it being the final chapter of the movie, I'm not ready to say goodbye to Eddie and Venom, because, again, I do enjoy their dynamic on screen, and like I mentioned, I could watch a series of them having adventures together, and who knows if they could be killed off in the 3rd movie. I hope that's not the case. I don't know. And from the reviews I've been reading on Twitter, you might find yourself emotional watching Venom 3, which, whoo, something tells me I should bring the tissues. But yeah, I'm not ready to say goodbye. But we shall see what happens to both Eddie and Venom once Venom The Last Dance hits theaters this Friday. Technically this Thursday. Definitely go check it out on opening night, Thursday, October 24th. How do I know this? Oh, I've known this since 2018. That's when I found out that I could see movies early on Thursdays. And that's when I'm going to be seeing it, on October 24th, which would have been my brother's birthday. So this is a nice birthday gift my brother's getting. Because about 10 years ago, he had gotten John Wick on his birthday. Well, technically it was released on my mom's birthday, early on a Thursday, but still, it was a nice birthday gift he had gotten, even though he had... Actually, when did my brother get interested in John Wick? Still, with that being said, those are just my thoughts on re-reviewing the first 2 Venom movies in preparation for Venom The Last Dance. Be sure to let me know the thoughts, comments down below. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be something Venom related, since I do have some videos planned for this week in preparation for Venom 3 coming out, like a hype trailer and probably a triple trailer reaction on all 3 movies. Something similar I did with the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. I got that